Holes, Chapter 1. There is no lake at Camp Green Lake. There once was a very large lake here, the largest lake in Texas. That was over 100 years ago. Now it is just a dry, flat wasteland. There used to be a town of Green Lake as well. The town shriveled and dried up along with the lake, and the people who lived there. During the summer, the daytime temperature hovers around 95 degrees in the shade. If you can find any shade, there's not much shade in a big dry lake. The only trees are two old oaks on the eastern edge of the lake. A hammock is stretched between the two trees, and a log cabin stands behind that. The campers are forbidden to lie in the hammock. It belongs to the warden. The warden owns the shade. Out on the lake, rattlesnakes and scorpions find shade under rocks and in the holes dug by the campers. Here's a good rule to remember about rattlesnakes and scorpions. If you don't bother them, they won't bother you, usually. Being bitten by a scorpion or even a rattlesnake is not the worst thing that can happen to you. You won't die, usually. Sometimes a camper will try to be bitten by a scorpion or even a small rattlesnake. Then he will get to spend a day or two recovering in his tent, instead of having to dig a hole out on the lake. But you don't want to be bitten by a yellow-spotted lizard. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. You will die a slow and painful death. Always. If you get bitten by a yellow-spotted lizard, you might as well go into the shade of the oak trees and lie in the hammock. There is nothing anyone can do to you anymore. 안녕하세요. 오늘은 Holes Chapter 1 어떤 내용인지 보고 갈게요. Holes라는 뜻이 구덩이, 구멍이라는 뜻인데 겉표지에 보면 이렇게 홀이 하나가 있잖아요. 구멍이. 그래서 이 이야기와 관련된 거고 루이스 세칼이 쓴 소설입니다. 여기 보시면 1과가 There is no lake라고 되어 있잖아요. 이 뜻이 뭐냐면 모모가 없다는 뜻이에요. 그래서 캠프 그린 레이크에는 호수가 없다는 거예요. 예전에는 아주 제일 큰 호수가 텍사스에 있었는데 그거는 100년 전의 일이고 이제는 너무 말라서 완전 너무 덥고 가뭄으로 인해서 비가 안 오는 곳이 되었어요. 텍사스는 미국의 주 중 하나입니다. 그리고 챕터 1에서 얘기하듯이 95 degrees라고 하니까 이게 95도씨가 화씨 95도를 말하니까 엄청 더운 거죠. 그러니까 섭씨 온도로는 약 35도 정도라고 생각하시면 되고 해먹이 있는데 해먹은 뭐냐면 나무랑 나무 사이에 침대처럼 매달아서 자는 그물이에요, 그물. 근데 그곳은 월든한테 다 빌렁이 됐다 이렇게 얘기를 하는 거니까 월든이 뭐냐면 기숙사나 보호시설 등의 관리인이나 교도소장을 말하는 거예요. 그래서 그 사람이 이곳을 관리를 하고 있습니다. Chapter 2. The reader is probably asking, why would anyone go to Camp Green Lake? Most campers weren't given a choice. Camp Green Lake is a camp for bad boys. If you take a bad boy and make him dig a hole every day in the hot sun, it will turn him into a good boy. That was what some people thought. Stanley Yelnats was given a choice. The judge said, you may go to jail or you may go to Camp Green Lake. Stanley was from poor family. He had never been to camp before. 1과에 이어서 Holes Chapter 2를 알아볼게요. 무슨 내용인지. 첫 번째 문장이 The reader is probably asking. 아마 독자들이 물어볼 거야. 왜 누구든지 캠프 그린 레이크에 가겠어? 이렇게 덥고 그런 곳인데 근데 이곳에 가는 사람들은 선택지에 의해서 가는 게 아니었어요. 캠프 그린 레이크는 오로지 나쁜 소년들을 위해서 마련된 곳이었죠. 어떤 사람들이 생각하기를 만약에 나쁜 소년들을 하루 종일 구덩이를 파게 하면 이제 되게 더운 날에 구덩이 파게 하면 이게 아마 그들이 착한 소년으로 변신할 수 있지 않을까 하는 생각 때문이었어요. 여기서 이과에서 주인공의 이름이 드러나는데 이과에서 주인공 이름은 스탠리 옐네츠예요. 이 이름을 주의 깊게 보셔야 되고요. 스탠리가 계속해서 이제 나오게 될 거고 옐네츠가 이제 라스트 네임이 되는 거죠. 성이죠. 그래서 이 옐네츠의 할아버지와 관련된 이제 일들이 앞으로 나오게 돼요. 판사가 말을 했어요. 너는 제일에 갈 수도 있고 감옥에 갈 수도 있고 캠프 그린 레이크에 갈 수도 있어 라고 얘기를 했는데 스탠리가 가족이 너무 가난했기 때문에 얘는 캠프에 가본 적이 없었어요. Chapter 3 Stanley Yelnats was the only passenger on the bus, not counting the driver or the guard. The guard sat next to the driver with his seat turned around facing Stanley. A rifle lay across his lap. Stanley was sitting about 10 rows back, handcuffed to his armrest. His backpack lay on the seat next to him. It contained his toothbrush, toothpaste, and a box of stationery his mother had given him. He'd promised to write to her at least once a week. He looked out the window, although there wasn't much to see, mostly fields of hay and cotton. He was on a long bus ride to nowhere. The bus wasn't air-conditioned, and the hot, heavy air was almost as stifling as the handcuffs. Stanley and his parents had tried to pretend that he was just going away to camp for a while, just like rich kids do. When Stanley was younger, he used to play with stuffed animals and pretend the animals were at camp. Camp fun and games, he called it. Sometimes he would have them play soccer with a marble. Other times they run an obstacle course or go bungee jumping off a table tied to broken rubber bands. Now Stanley tried to pretend he was going to camp fun and games. Maybe he would make some friends, he thought. At least he'd get to swim in the lake. He didn't have any friends at home. He was overweight, and the kids at his middle school often teased him about his size. Even his teachers sometimes made cruel comments without realizing it. On his last day of school, his math teacher, Mrs. Bell, taught ratios. As an example, she chose the heaviest kid in the class and the lightest kid in the class and had them weigh themselves. Stanley weighed 3 times as much as the other boy. Mrs. Bell wrote the ratio on the board, 3-1, unaware of how much embarrassment she had caused both of them. Stanley was arrested later that day. He looked at the guard, who sat slumped in his seat, and wondered if he had fallen asleep. The guard was wearing sunglasses, so Stanley couldn't see his eyes. Stanley was not a bad kid. He was innocent of a crime for which he was convicted. He'd just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. It was all because of his no good, dirty, rotten pig stealing great-great-grandfather. He smiled. It was a family joke. Whenever anything went wrong, they always blamed Stanley's no good, dirty, rotten pig stealing great-great-grandfather. Supposedly, he had a great-great-grandfather who had stolen pig from a one-legged gypsy, and she put a curse on him and all his descendants. Stanley and his parents didn't believe in curse, of course, but whenever anything went wrong, it felt good to be able to blame someone. Things went wrong a lot. They always seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He looked out the window at the vast emptiness. He watched the rise and fall of telephone wire. In his mind, he could hear his father's gruff voice softly singing to him. If only, the woodpecker sighed. The bark on trees was just a little bit of softer. While the wolf waits below, hungry and lonely, he cries the moon. If only, if only. It was a song his father used to sing him. The melody was sweet and sad. But Stanley's favorite part was when his father would howl the word moon. The bus hit a small bump, and the guard sat up instantly alert. Stanley's father was an inventor. To be a successful inventor, you need three things: intelligence, perseverance, and just a little bit of luck. Stanley's father was smart and had a lot of perseverance. 1과 2과에 이어서 홀스 3과 요약을 한번 해볼게요. 자, 스탠리 옐네츠가 주인공이잖아요. 근데 여기서 잡혀왔어요. 스탠리 옐네츠의 모습을 묘사하는 3과의 모습이 있는데 그가 overweight, 굉장히 뚱뚱했고 수학 선생님이 스탠리하고 다른 아이를 비교해가지고 비율을 가르쳐 줬는데 스탠리가 그 아이보다 3배가 더 뚱뚱해서 레이쇼 그 비율을 3대 1로 적고 그렇게 부끄럽게 했다는 내용이고요. 그날 스탠리가 잡혔는데 스탠리는 사실상 나쁜 아이도 아니었고 he was innocent. 이게 죄가 없다는 거예요. 죄가 없지만 그가 저지른 잘못이 없지만 이제 잘못 잡혀온 거죠. 그래서 뭔가 다 잘못됐을 때는 이 스탠리와 스탠리 집안이 이렇게 말하는 경우가 있는데 It's all because of his no good, dirty, rotten pig stealing great great grandfather. 이게 할아버지가 그 집시의 돼지를 훔쳐서 이렇게 우리가 저주를 받은 거라고 생각을 했다는 거예요. 그리고 여기서는 스탠리 아빠의 직업이 나오는데 스탠리 아빠의 직업은 발명가였어요. 발명가가 필요한 이제 어떤 상은 똑똑해야 되고 그리고 운이 좋아야 되고 이런 것들이 있었죠.